Hi folks, Dr. Jim Gishwin here, PhD, and retired career intelligence analyst who worked up in the Pentagon for the Director of Naval Intelligence for many years under Reagan. I was leading chief of O&I. Anyway, that's all in the past. It doesn't mean my powers of connecting the dots has gone away. It's still there. And we're still really on the precipice of World War III. And all this rhetoric does not help. We have to be a united American people, like Biden said. When I sit there and tell you to fight, I don't mean physically. I abhor violence. Oh yeah, I have guns to protect myself. I even got that burner thing. Okay? Had to buy a 12 gauge to get it because that's the only thing that they make the rounds for. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm a concealed carry member of the UCCA and a life member of the NRA. So, you know my position on the Second Amendment right there. I'm a constitutionalist. I'm a conservative, yeah. When I was back in 13, I sat there and worked for the Goldwater campaign. Except I wouldn't have voted for him today because Curtis LeMay was a nut job. I wanted to go nuke China. Maybe he should have. Who knows? Who knows what decisions way back in history would have changed things today. But let's talk about the rhetoric. I blame Biden. I blame the Democrats. They allowed radicals to take over their party. This is no longer the Democratic Party. When we say it's the left, we mean these are Marxist people, okay? Using our system to take over our system. And it's happening in front of our eyes. Now, I'm not going to use that stupid term to save democracy. You know how I feel about that. We are a representative constitutional republic, like Ben Franklin said. And said we have to work to keep it. I love our republic. We do not have a democracy. There is no one in this world that has a democracy. Democracy is mob rule. It ruined Athens as a city-state. They couldn't get nothing done. Everyone's sitting there trying to make the same different decisions. Okay? It was provable not to be workable. And our founding fathers knew that. They studied John Locke. It was a republic. Now, the left likes to use the word democracy. In fact, Woodrow Wilson was the first one who hated the Constitution to use it. Why? Because it sounds good. Progressivism confuses people. They don't know what you mean. Socialism, Marxism, communism all sound bad. Okay? They sound bad. So it's like what they used to do when they wanted to sit there and get a controversial bill attached. They sit there and put some lunch money in for the kids, and they turn to you and say, it's for the children. Okay? This is the same thing with the Constitution, and that's why they call themselves Democrats. Okay? Democracy, Democrats. It sounds good to the immigrants coming in, right? That's the first thing they sign up for. Oh, yeah, I want to be a Democrat. For democracy. It's fake, people. They use those terms just to sucker you in. But they do have to sit there and downgrade Biden can't be sitting there calling, half the population daggone terrorists and everything else. I'm going to show you something right here. Right here is a letter I got from my mother after the last election, calling me a terrorist because I voted Republican. That was the only reason. She doesn't understand I'm a constitutionalist. I have to register Republican because in the primaries there is no constitutional guy running. And there's no independent guy running. So you got to pick Democrat or Republican to vote in primaries in the state of Florida. Okay? So that's it. See, that's what I'm dealing with. And many families are dealing with this, like, split in the family like this. Oh, yeah, I call her up and we have nice talks. The rule is no politics, nothing controversial. Or she'll sit there and hit that liberal ceiling. Oh, boy, she is a dyed-in-the-wool lib. I'll tell you that right now. You can't talk to her about nothing. And she's got that Trump syndrome. And that's what's causing it. The press has caused this. Demonizing a candidate who's a decent man. Didn't have to do this stuff. He could have sat there and putted away on his golf courses the rest of his life. And drinking from gold cups and stuff up in his penthouse. Or his mansion. You know, they sit there and try to impeach him. They tried to bankrupt him. Okay, they tried to put him in jail. And it's all failing, so now they're trying to kill him. Cease and desist, people. And I'm telling our people, keep your head on a swivel. They will use you. Watch out who's in that crowd. Okay? They will sit there and set traps for you. The end justifies the means to them, and they will sit there and not give up power. Your vote is the only thing that stands between us and socialism. Your vote. I'm not going to tamper down what I believe. They let the radicals take over their party. It's run by Antifa and others. Okay? That's their military arm. They can send them out to loot and pillage whenever they want. Like they did in the Summer of Love. Those weren't Republicans. Those weren't constitutionalists. The Constitution is a thing of beauty. It can be changed. Why do you think we have so many amendments? Speaking of amendments, pull the trigger on Article 25 now. If he's not fit to run for president, he's not fit to be president. Use some common sense, people, and think about your country first instead of your party. I didn't vote for your party. In fact, I didn't vote for anyone in your party. I knew they were all nut jobs. So we need prayer. We need God. God is with us. Prayer, vote, prayer, vote. It's got to be a landslide, people. It's got to be too big to rig, as they say. Because they're sitting there already planning their stuff. Okay, all their tricks and devices. The end justifies the means. And they will do it. And there will be more attempts on Trump's life. It is already cooked into the soup. We knew this. We knew that their hatred, that their Trump syndrome, Trump derangement syndrome, which really exists. Listen to some of these people. A couple of them even said he has to be taken out. I'm quoting Maxine Waters. She said that once. And I think Whoopi Goldberg said something like that too at one time, and they let her get away with it. Used to be a time you said something like that, the Secret Service the next day would be at your door. Apparently they don't care no more about protecting their president. Why was a roof left unguarded? And why did that guard go up and turn around, see the armed guy, and run away back down the ladder, allowing the guy to get shots off towards Trump? What a coward. Find out who he is. Fire his ass. People, we need prayer and votes. Prayer and votes. Take people to the voting booth. Pick them up off the street. Do what they do. Collect voters. Get yourself, rent a little minivan and sit there and run down the street and pick up all the homeless. Take them to vote. Offer them a beer. Anyway, I love you all. I love the United States of America, our republic. And God bless us, everyone. I remain your humble servant.